Molly. It's Dr. Utrofi. Your test came back positive for celiac disease. So if you could just give us a call back, thank you.
And that was it. I had celiac disease, whatever that meant. I was in 6th grade when I found out, and I had no idea that it would actually affect my entire life. It's nothing terminal, of course, so it can't be that dramatic. But it makes you question every piece of food, everything you drink, anything you ingest, you have to question, which kind of sucks.
So when Molly was little, really a baby, she seemed to be growing great. And then she slowed down. Doctor asked us a bunch of questions about it and wanted to do tests, and we didn't really encourage that. When she was 8, we had wrist x-rays done. Apparently your wrists, I don't know if they contain a growth plate or whatever, but they said she was growing at a normal pace. So we went a little further, and then I think she was 10 or 11, maybe 6th grade, whatever age you are there. The doctor was very concerned. He said, we can do a simple blood test. At this point, he thought she had celiac. So we went in and did the blood test. Turned out she did have celiac. I thankfully had the internet, and I went online and did search after search, found a bunch of different pages.
Celiac disease is an immune reaction to eating gluten, a protein found in wheat, barley, and rye. When people with celiac disease eat certain grain-based products that contain gluten, it sets off an immune response that causes damage to the small intestine. This, in turn, interferes with the small intestine's ability to absorb nutrients found in food, leading to malnutrition and a variety of other complications. Many people don't even experience symptoms of this disease. This, unfortunately, does not have a cure.
She can't have anything with wheat gluten, which you think, oh, what's got wheat gluten in it? Everything has wheat gluten in it. We kind of started to find, different things we needed. We also found that gluten-free products, a little pricier than the average. A loaf of bread for us is $4. A loaf of bread for Molly, $8.
Which I get it because it's not really a high demand for it, but it's still pretty bad.
Oh, it's more expensive.
It's more,
but it's
it's
worth
more
it.
expensive, but it's not anything that's
Ridiculous.
earth-shattering or anything else. But it's worth it because you feel good. And you feel
Absolutely.
better, you look better, you act better. So it's whatever it would cost, it's worth it.
Yeah.
But pretty much but everything I do for you is separate.
So we
from everybody
established
else.
separate cabinets in the kitchen for her. She still has her own jar of peanut butter, her own butter. Anything you would put a knife into and touch bread with, she gets her own, generally.
I didn't want to try anything new. I didn't want anything to do with any of this celiac business. I just wanted to eat my regular food and be like my friends and not have to worry about it.
I was bringing different things home. We were trying things. And Molly, she liked some, didn't like others. And she would get very frustrated and very annoyed. And then she'd, not want to try new things, be sick of it. Like, she didn't really like going to restaurants for a long time because she didn't want to have to ask for a special menu. She thought, oh, I'll just go around it. Well, you can't always go around it. Sometimes you actually have to ask for a gluten-free menu.
It was a lot of trial and error. I mean, there are still some things that I haven't found gluten-free substitutions for, but there are a lot of things that I have found that I didn't think I'd ever like. But honestly, the transition was horrible. All my favorite foods I couldn't eat anymore.
Well, I tried to get different types of pasta, different brands, but you're kind of fussy, but it's fun to try.
A 100% gluten-free diet is the only existing treatment for celiac disease today. An estimated 1 in 133 Americans, or about 1% of the population, have celiac disease. It can affect men and women of all ages.
Once she came off wheat and was gluten-free for a certain period of time, I noticed her energy level was higher. Not that she was ever like a couch potato or anything, but her inner energy level was higher. She was doing better in school. Things were a little easier for her there.
Well, I think your energy level is going up 100%. You seem to be much more lively, much more active. much more outgoing. Not that you weren't outgoing before, but much, much more now.
51.4% of those with celiac disease have neurological disorders. There are over 300 signs and symptoms associated with this disease. I started getting stronger because for a pretty long time I wasn't gaining any weight when I wasn't growing. Celiac disease is the most common genetic autoimmune disease in the world. This makes celiac disease more common than lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, epilepsy, Parkinson's disease, Crohn's disease, or cystic fibrosis. I mean, at the time, I didn't see any of this. I definitely knew I felt more energetic, but I didn't know that it affected me the way it has. But nowadays, I'm pretty well adapted. I know what I can and cannot eat. I research any drink or food before I eat it and drink it just to make sure. Untreated celiac disease increases the risk of cancer 200 to 300%. Untreated celiac disease increases the risk of miscarriage 800 to 900%.
And it's become normal to her now to have to do these things.
Celiac disease can lead to a number of disorders, including infertility, reduced bone density, neurological disorders, some cancers, and other autoimmune diseases. It is estimated that 83% of Americans who have celiac disease are undiagnosed or misdiagnosed with other conditions. I'm just lucky to have such an amazing family because they cook for me, they experiment, all kinds of stuff for me, they bake. Without them, I wouldn't know I liked certain things. And it's great that they're willing to spend the money and to spend the time into trying to figure out what I like.
We like fussing over you.
Sometimes.
But you're a good girl and you
We
deserve
love
it.
you.
Absolutely.